Hi there and welcome on board my boat, the RowAlong, moored here on the Amazon River ahead of a 10-minute joyride with a bunch of tourists. Now, my engines aren't working that well, so I'm glad that you're here so we can row along together to power the boat on its journey. Now, before we can even get started, we have to make sure we're working in unison, get those engines up and running. So that means we're going to warm up for 4 minutes, if that's okay with you. And we have to set up our boat first. Now, that means setting your drag factor to where you want it to be. Now, if you don't know where to set it, I just recommend setting between 4 and 5, unless you're under 16, in which case put it a little bit lower than that, okay? Too low it isn't a problem, too high is when it becomes a little bit of a problem. Now, next up, set your monitor to eye height if you can, so you don't have to look up, you don't have to look down. And finally, set the foot straps heights, foot stretchers, so that you're able to get to the front of the machine with your shins pointing vertically, okay? A good guide for that is that the strap covers the bottom lace of your shoe. So, like I said, we have to do a 4-minute warm-up to make sure that we're both working together and we can get the boat moving, and we have to go and pick up our tourists first, okay? So, we're going to start this off nice and gentle because obviously we don't want to be going too fast, we'll break the boat. So let's do this at around about 20 strokes a minute and just put in enough of a push that you get your machine moving, okay? In 3, 2, 1, let's go. Because you know what it's like with the boats, it takes a little bit of an effort to get it moving. You don't want to really blast out of the dock either, do you? There could be anything there. There could be ducks, there could be speedboats, there could be other boats. You don't want to crash into somebody. So try and take your strokes on the machine at the same time that I am, and that should mean that you're rowing along at 20 strokes per minute. Like I said, not too much power from the legs here. It's just enough to be moving for the time being, just so you can get your boat cruising through the water. You're not putting too much stress and strain on it. Now, in order for the two of us to be able to work in unison on today's trip, it makes sense that we both try and put in the power as efficiently as possible at the same time. So what that means is that you think about how you're rowing. And primarily what that means is that you have to think about how that power is going into the machine. And on rowing, you may have thought it's all about pulling the handle backwards, trying to get that power in by pulling, but it's not. You get your power in the rowing stroke by pushing your feet into the machine. If you think about pushing the machine away from you, that is how the power gets in there. Okay, so with your legs, you push the machine away. But what you also want to have is straight arms as you push. So you push with the legs, keep those arms nice and straight, don't pull too early, and then you have a forwards tilt towards the front of the machine too. So you're leaning slightly forwards with straight arms as you push the machine away. And if you can try and hold those arms nice and straight and that forward lean as you push, then what you'll find is you'll get a nice feeling of the power accelerating into your machine. And that's how we're able to whoosh our boat along the river today. You accelerate that power into the machine, and it lets you go faster just by increasing how much you push with your legs. So I'm sure on today's journey we're going to have to speed up a little bit. We're going to have to slow down a little bit. We're going to have to think about adding more power. We may have to do a little bit of sprinting to escape some things that lurk in the river. And you control most of that by that push with your legs. And then you pull at the back of the stroke. So you push, pull, push, pull, push, pull. Okay, let's just take 3 last strokes as we come in to dock the boat, ready to pick up our passengers. I can see them there. They all look very happy to be coming on board. So while they all file in and get themselves settled, have a quick drink, and then we'll get started with our 10-minute journey. Okay, then it looks as though the last of the passengers are all filing in and they're putting on their life vests. So remember, this is going to be a 10-minute journey, and we're probably going to be going a little bit faster at times as things occur on this trip. Okay, so just listen to me, and then when I say go faster, go faster. When I say go slower, go slower. Okay? Right, is everybody on board? Right. This is your captain speaking. Let's get ready to start. We're going to start off at right about the same pace that you just started that warm-up at, and then we'll maybe increase a little bit, but just like I say, listen to me. Here we go then, in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So we're going to start still at that 20 strokes a minute, but what I want you to think about as we get the boat moving is that you're putting in enough of a push with your legs that you can feel your heart rate starting to increase. You can feel your breathing is getting a little bit heavier as you're rowing, but you're still able to hold a conversation. It doesn't particularly feel like it's getting harder and harder, and you don't think you could do this for 10 minutes. And this is what I call 5 out of 10 effort, okay? 20 strokes a minute, still having a conversation. Right, this has cleared the dock, so we can go a little bit faster to give our passengers some excitement as we pass the scenery. So let's take it up to 24 strokes a minute. So follow me, 1 stroke every 2.5 seconds. And all you really need to do is push a little harder with your legs, and that should make your drive speed, the power you're putting into our engines, a little bit faster. And that will take care of the stroke rate. But what should also have happened is you'll have noticed that as you increased stroke rate, whatever pace display you have in front of you should have gone up by a good few seconds. Right, I can see some of the passengers starting to feel a bit poorly, so let's take 2 more strokes and slow it down back to that cruise. Here we go. So let's go back to 20 strokes a minute and down to that cruising 5 out of 10 effort. This should just let your heart rate come down a little bit, gives you a chance to catch your breath, but also a chance to look around out into the Amazon rainforest as we pass all the wonderful trees and animals. It's quite murky water though, so you can't quite see what's lurking beneath. Oh, but I tell you what I can see, monkeys. Oh, they're cheeky. They're gonna throw stuff at us. We're gonna have to sprint away from them. Are you ready? Let's see how fast you can row for 15 seconds. Because you know what they're like. They'll throw anything at you. Nice, fast stroke rate. Get that engine moving fast. Last one. Right, let's slow down to cruise. See what's happening. Oh, I can see coconuts flying through the air. Where did they get them from? Let's sprint. I'm not sure you can get coconuts in the Amazon. Let's sprint again. Get away from those monkeys. Keep going. 2 more. I think there we go. we escape them. Ooh, oh, I can just see angry bananas being thrown in the air by the monkeys because they really wanted to catch us. That's okay, back to cruising pace. We can take in those sights again. But hey, gave the people on board a little bit of excitement. Some of them have never seen a monkey before. So, some of them are questioning whether you get monkeys in the Amazon rainforest, but let's skip that part. Maybe they were hired actors, you never know. Maybe I paid for them to be on the shore to make this a more exciting row for us, an exciting journey for our tourists on board. Oh, I can see a little bit of turmoil in the water. You can hardly ever see things happening in the water. Oh no, I know what that means. Piranhas. The only way to get past them is more power. So keep your stroke rate down, but push harder. So still 20 strokes per minute, but push harder with your legs. Try to get more power out of each stroke. And this way, we'll tilt the nose of our boat in the air and we'll look big and imposing, and the piranhas won't come for us. So keep going. Another 30 seconds of this, and I'm sure they'll get fed up trying to chase us. Don't know why a piranha would quite want to eat a boat. Oh, I can see it's one of the tourists. He's throwing meat off the side of the boat. Right, 2 more strokes. 1 more. Back to cruising speed. There we go. Off they all go into the distance. Oh, apart from one. One of the piranhas seems to have got himself attached to the back of the boat. He seems quite happy though. Maybe I'll bring him on board, put him in a tank of water, and I'll call him Nigel, my pet piranha, Nigel, and he can keep us company for future journeys and also scare away some bad people. Okay, I can see the dock ahead, but there's some boats in the way, so we're going to need to speed up. Let's take it up to 24 strokes a minute again. So here we go, push harder with those legs. You should see your pace on screen go up, and that way the two of us together will make our boat travel faster to get past all the other boats that are heading for the docks. Because after all, our tourists have paid money for this to only take 10 minutes. So we can't be hanging around waiting for our turn to dock the boat. Oh no, I think someone's spotted our plan. We're gonna have to do some sprinting again. Let's see. Yeah, we will. After this one, let's sprint. So let's see how fast we can go. Take that stroke rate up nice and high. Put in some power to the machine. You should be breathing a lot heavier. And your heart rate should feel like it's going up. Okay, let's take 2 more strokes and see what's happening. Oh, I can't see. Nigel keeps on jumping up to the window and stopping me from seeing out the window. Oh, I can see We have to sprint again. Someone's trying to make a chase. That's okay, we're getting away. 10 more seconds and we'll be past them and into the docks. There we go. All right, now let's take it down to cruising speed as we come into the dock to get ready to let the passengers off and go about their day. And you can start to slow down, keep your stroke rate at 20, but a slightly lighter push from your legs, and that will slow the boat down, because we don't want to be coming in really fast to park the boat. We could end up smashing into the jetty. Oh, and how annoyed would the dockmaster be at that point if we broke where we parked the boat last stroke. There we go. That's us all parked up. We can wave goodbye to all the tourists as they walk off the boat, and then we can think about what we do with the rest of the day. I, for one, I'm going to go and have a stern word with Nigel and tell him that if he's going to be on board my ship, he can't get in the way and stop me seeing out of my window. Now you may want to go on another piece of equipment, like a treadmill or a cross trainer or a bike, or even just go do some weights. But I do suggest at one point making sure to stretch at least your quads and your hamstrings, just because that was a fair amount of effort. And it's kind of makes sense really to make sure that your body has a chance to just stretch off after even 10 minutes worth of effort. Okay, so I do hope you enjoyed this adventure with me on the Amazon River. I'm going to continue making more of these, so please do let me know whether you're enjoying them. And if you have any suggestions, let me know. I make all this stuff up as I go along, so all you have to do is give me an idea and I'll make a RowAlong adventure for whatever you can come up with. Yeah. Who knows what goes on in my head if that's the stuff I'm coming up with. Okay, thank you so much for rowing along with me. If you want a slightly longer version and a more structured, focused approach to rowing, then please check out the other videos I have here on this RowAlong channel. I have hundreds of specific workouts, all based on either performance or fitness, that you may want to look at. And of course, there's going to be a whole bunch more of these kind of videos that you can look at if you just want 10 minutes of fun on the rowing machine. I hope it was fun. My phone's literally just made itself sound as though it's fallen into the river. So it's time for me to get my phone, rescue it from the bottom of the Amazon, and see you in another video. Take care, be well.